Hello and welcome to Sunday Night Crafting with Sandra, Stamping with Sandra. Oops, a daisy. I didn't mean to do that so quickly. So sorry. Got rid of me straight away. So today I have a brand new set that arrived during the last week and I'm itching to get playing with it. And when you see it, you'll realise why. If you saw the pop-up screen come up and then you'll see that there's cats on there. And obviously I'm a bit of a cat lover, so hey, let's get you down onto the table and I'll move you across now. Okie doke. So hopefully someone's going to jump on here soon. I don't like to do a long preamble, but I need a decision made. So I think I'm going to start by stamping my cat here and then we'll worry about what we're going to do with it. So first step. Hi Rhonda, first one in Rhonda. So I'm gonna be doing, as I've got someone here, you can choose. We're either doing the left or the right, okay? And it's going to be using the little cute cat in the corner there, in the middle. So while you're looking at that, I'm just going to get my blocks. Hi Susie, we're making a choice. We're going to be using Little Pussycat here. I know you're a cat lover. So we're going to be using Little Pussycat here. And it's the same papers from last week. The left, the blues, okay? That's the first one that's come in. That was my favourite as well, but I like the other combination as well. So I gave you a choice. So these are going to be the colours we'll use. So the Granny Apple green and the Balmy blue. So if I pop them out of the way for now, we're going to start by cutting our little stamping and colouring our little topper. I seem to have a stray colour of card in there. That's not basic white. So let's get rid of that one and find a random piece that I can stamp on. There we go. Now I have different combinations as to which I'm going to use for this. This is so new. Hi ladies. So this is so new, I haven't even mounted the stamp set. Okay, so we're going to be using the cat and we're going to be using one of the birthday greetings. I don't know which one yet. Possibly. See, I like this one, just happy birthday, but I also like that one. So I think we'll mount both of those. So you can see how I mount mine. People do, well, not everybody, but some people do it a little bit differently. And I think that's about it. Okay, we'll pop those away. I won't do all of them. I won't keep you waiting. So move that out of the way. So my pussycat is here. Well, mine aren't, but they were both sound asleep when I came in on their radiator beds in the lounge. So I peel the backings off. Now there's a split down the middle of any size backing. There's always a split down the middle. So it comes in two halves. So I take the whole thing off. I've used to do, a long while ago, because I didn't know any better, I used to do it half at a time. But then you get a seam down the middle. And I didn't like that very much. So I'm going to make sure that this lines up over the top. So I want to catch all of these three. And I bet you know I haven't got my glasses and I'm not running off for them. This is going to be fun. I took my glasses into the other room. I'm not going to go and leave. So I'm going to line this up on here. I use an anchor and put my finger down on it. Then I go for the next piece over there. So I'm going for that one. And I'm going to let the rest just fall into place. Okay, and I take a block and I press it over the back to make sure that that backing has stuck on there really, really well. And then we simply lift it off and it's perfect. Whoops. So I'll pick that up onto the block. I think you should make it on there, mate. There we go. And then the two happy birthdays here. We have the bigger one, this one here. Again, there's a seam down the middle, so we take that half off. I used to put just half on, thinking that it would be, you know, you could lift it off if you got it wrong. This is so tacky. Once it's down, that's it. So I just do the whole lot now. I just find my two anchor points. So there's one without getting my head in the way, and there's the other. And I'm just going to gently let that plop down. Okay, get another block. And we'll put this one onto a long block. Just lift that off and there it goes. It's the best day because it's your birthday. So that's where the name of the stamp set comes from. Best day. And then this one here is happy birthday. And again, no matter how big or small these stamps are, you always have a crack down the middle here that you can lift off the two pieces, just so you can get them off easier. Now there's the H is there and the H is there. Be careful with symmetrical shapes so that you don't put it upside down, because every time you use that stamp it will be upside down. Okay, so I'll take that one off as well. I don't know which one I'm going to use, so I'm going to mount that onto the other side of the block here. Okay, so if it's inked up, this one won't get in the way. Let's put that way, so I can see through, and I can see through both. Okay, if you put it in the middle, then obviously you wouldn't be able to see, but I can see that one that way, or turn it over and see that one that way. Okay, use a block to mount yours. I've seen some people put the clingy bit onto here first. Haven't tried that way yet, but I'm open to seeing how people do it and manage to keep it all in one piece. In theory, it should work easy. It should be fine. So I have got my piece of card here. I think this is thick, basic white. I have virtually run out of the normal basic white. So it's on my order, so I'm waiting for that to come in. And I normally have a whole spare packet, at least one packet. But sadly, it seems to have slipped through the net. I tend to not stock up before Celebration, because Celebration, obviously, we get our free items for £45 every 45, the same as customers do. So there it is, look. Oh! Okay, there's my little cat. He's so cute. So let me let that set for a little bit, and then I think I don't know what shape to cut on him out with. I've got Stitch So Sweetly and I've got Stylish Shapes. So the stylish shapes will be these circles. Circles or squares. Or we have this one here, the Stitch So Sweetly, which I do love Stitch So Sweetly. So if we have a standard size card, you see I could go for something like so, and have it long ways, the same as a card. Maybe we'll make up the card first, put those to one side. We'll make up the card and see where we're going to end up. So we're using these colours as chosen by, I think it was Susie. So you two have made me, convinced me to switch over. Just a sec. I'm not blowing bubbles, but I'm just having a sip of water. I've been in here today with the wood burner going, and I've been upstairs, so it's quite dry up there. So my throat is quite dry. So let's see which colour we want to go for a base card. That's going to be the first decision, isn't it? Let's see if I have any on the back here. Oh, look. And I have a spare of that one, and I have a spare of this one. Remember I said when I cut and score, I always put, if there's a spare one, I always put it in the back. So we've either got a tent fold or a side fold. That doesn't really make any difference whatsoever. And we'll have a piece of this one. So I'm going to cut this at 2 steps down. So I would normally go down here at 14.3, but I might put a white layer behind this. So I'm going to put 13.8. You know what? I'm going to go 6 inches, so it's a full half sheet. So I'm not really wasting anything. Put that out of the way. And if I do this way by 6 inches, that will give a whole quarter sheet. So we'll go with the 13.8. And then instead of coming down to 10, we'll go down to 9.5. Okay, like so. Keep those 2 little scraps. And we can see which one's going to look best on here, but I do think it's going to look good with a white layer in between. So let's go to the standard 14.3 by 10. Okay, and as I'm doing 2 cards, you know, I'm going to cut the second one because I can use those later. So 13.8 by 9.5. And we can see the whole card, all bar colouring. We can put these together. That down there. So we have a white layer behind there, just to offset that slightly. So that's going to be one version. And then this one onto the granny apple. Okay. When these two colours blend together, that doesn't really look like the granny apple very much, does it? Just going to check on the back here to see there's no other greens in here. Balmy blue, Calypso coral, coastal cabana, fresh freesia, granny apple green, mango. Yeah, it isn't the only green, so it must be that colour. So as I said, I'm using the host papers again that we used last time, just for a bit of continuity. So that's the Dandy Designs. Okay, that's either from the mini or the Celebration. I forget which one it is. So those two layers are going to come on there, and we're going to have a cat of some description on the top here, and whether we're going to go with a rectangle with the cat in there or a smaller one. You can choose, because this will fit on there as well, so we can see more of the papers. Okay, that's quite nice. Or we have the stylish shapes, and we could use a circle or a square. Okay, one of those or one of those. Oh, decisions. I'm going to try a circle on there. I think I'm going to stamp him twice, and then we'll colour in the one that looks best. Okay, so let me cut this roughly down here. Is he going to fit on there? I think he will. Oh, only just. This one's going to be... No, we'll have to go with one, and then we'll cut the second one, and we'll see which is going to look best. Okay, look. So that can be cut through, and then I'll stamp him again on a piece that will take that. Some smaller pieces in here. So how has everybody's week been? Not that one, that's too small. It's supposed to be really, really windy by the end of the week. I've had a jaunt up to Birmingham this week, and now I'm back doing tax return. You like the square one? Instead of the round? Let's just see. Put them there now. So the rectangle's going to be one on there. So I was just trying different shapes instead of square edges, straight edges. Let's see what that looks like first then, shall we? Who was that? That was Zana. I'm going to cut this out. Just bring my little Big Shot on. Baby Big Shot. Just hoping I've got the right base plate here, because I had an event in Norwich and most of my stuff was still packed. I think this is the dark one, not the light one. So I'm going to get him in the centre, and then I'm using my low tack tape. I'm lining it up along the bottom here, using my low tack tape just to put top and bottom. Make sure that's straight. The rectangle, yeah, the rectangle one's going to make it taller. So that's what we're going to try that one first. And the other one, I might do a circle just to be a different shape. So let's see if this is going to work. I don't think it is. You know what? I need the lighter grey, and I think it's still packed. So just bear with. Bear with. There you go, that's the sandwich that I took with me. So that's the base one, and I took a couple of spares in case I needed a new top. So I'm doing this off the camera, only just slightly out of sight here. So I'm staggering my plates so they are at an angle. Run that one through. There we go. Let's do this one first and see how we go. Just push this away from the image. Peel that off. Put that back on the machine because we can use that a second time if it hasn't cut through. And that can go back in my scraps. Ooh. Need to help that one, it's not quite cut through. Do I need to go back through again? I think I do. Maybe I cut off too soon. Only wants to catch that very middle piece there. Cut over there and come back. There we go, it's fallen out now. These things do this because we're live on air. Okay, so that one can go around there somewhere to one side or somehow like so. So are we liking the greens or the blue base? Let's see, that one won't go through there. I'm going to start by sticking these down. It's very busy. Class X with beginners. Yeah, a lot of work. It's good to but share though, isn't it? So I had Thursday night, I had my first WI Women's Institute where I was a guest speaker, and they did a make and take project using the Stamparatus, and they all had a nice time. I was just trying to speed things up because of the number of people I had there. It was the best way to demo to people who weren't necessarily crafters and not necessarily paper crafters. I think there was 2 people who crafted out of about 30. So quite small odds, but they all did very well. They were amazed at their results. Shaz, Smudge is saying hello through the door. Bless her. So much for being sound asleep. Okay, so I am going to put these flat because I'm going to put the images, the toppers, on 3D. I'm going to dress this up a little bit. I don't know how yet. Just making the base so that the layers all stay together, and then I can decide what we're going to do on the top. So that's that one. Wow, Rhonda. So we're going for, we've got the green, blue, green, grey. I think the green is winning. So let's pop that one out of the way with the round die. I might do another one when I come off air. So I don't want to stick it slap bang in the middle. I don't know, I just don't think I like that. But I'm going to colour it for now. So I'm going to zoom you in a little bit on here. Zoom you right in. And let her in, she needs a treat. Bless her, she's not going to crunch online. Hey, she can come in and sit beside me, can't you? Hey, Shaz wants to say hello. She'll trot round the room. Now I've got to clear the chair beside me so she can sit down. I don't know, move things out of the way for a cat. Blame Shaz, it's her fault because she said you could come in. Hey? Right, so I'm going to colour this one in. Now, what am I going to do colour-wise? Because I'm going to use Granny Apple Green, we've kind of got to go for those colours. So Granny Apple, oh, olives, somebody else has been in here. Granny Apple, so dark Granny Apple, and then we have Balmy Blue is in here. So, oops, a daisy, I can zoom you out a little bit so you can see what colours I'm using. And then the cat. I can't really do Smudge's colours. I think I'm going to go for some greys. Grey granite is one of my favourite go-tos. So let's see if we can find grey granite. Dark grey granite. Hello, Mrs. Light grey granite. And there we go. We'll have those sort of colours and leave some of the middle white. So I'm going to add some features. You've seen me with my colours before. Oh, she's so funny. That's a little bit white looking, isn't it? If I come in a bit closer, Will that help the white glare? Okay, look. So she's literally sitting beside me, tapping my hand. Hi, Anne. Nice to see you. Hi, Sandra. So where Stampin' Up have already, the artists, the concept artists, have already given you some shading on here. So this is good to use this as a start, just adding some texture around the side here. This one is this is my dark one. I have got a new one of these coming. I think I put it on the order. I'm doubting myself now. Because the other end is getting very worn. It's good for large areas, but not so good for doing smaller, neat together pieces. Okay, so just do a little bit of detail on there, accenting what's already there. And then that's crumb cake, and this is the light grey granite. So I'm going to colour the cat in with this end. And that will, by having the dark colour there first, I like to do it that way because then I can shade that out. The alcohol pens don't run. Okay, just have to be careful around the edges. Again, this one's going a little bit on the fluffy side, so I look forward to getting my new ones. Go with the narrower end. Okay, and we'll just colour those in. Just give it some detail around the edge. It kind of gives it an edge that it won't sort of like go round past. So then I'm going to come along the bottom here with the cat, along the edge of the cupcake. Cupcake can go in with the colours of the papers. So however we like to choose to do that. There we go. Forget where have I been recently? Where I had a few people crafting, and as soon as it wasn't at the WI, as soon as they started fussy cutting, there were several of them, and the fussy cutting, they just went totally silent. It was really funny. Can't remember where I've been. So I'm just going to go around these features again with the light. And then the narrow tip, and then I'm going to go around the main piece with the other. The dark colour, that was the dark grey granite. I do love grey granite. It's kind of, it's not a grey, it's not a brown, but it kind of like blends in between. So just accented some of those edgy pieces. And now we're colouring in the biggest part in the middle. And as we've said, with the alcohol markers, they don't leave, you know when children colour with the just normal fountain felt pens, you get the scratchy lines and you can see exactly where they've been. But these ones the alcohol will evaporate and you won't get those lines. You can get some texture in there. You can build up your layers. I think I said this last time. You can build up. So if you've got some lines there that you've got from your dark, you can actually just blend those out. And if you want to go over the ears, little features again, you can actually put a double layer on them. That's how I describe it. I don't think that's a technical term, but I build up the layers. So you can have some detail, extra detail, but it's such a subtle difference, you don't really notice it. It's just giving it like a shaded look. Of course, we've got to have a little pink nose, haven't we? Okay, so there is some shading here. You might not see it on the actual online, on the camera. Just bringing that in a little bit. Just go over his paw a little bit so that the paw comes a little bit darker. If you excuse the mess beside me, I'm going to turn the camera around to the table. Hey. Smudge, are you going to say hello? Can you see? Oh, no, the wrong one, isn't it? You want that one. Take that one off. You want that one. Can you see her just sat there just beside me? Hey? You going to say hello? No, she's not going to talk now. That's funny. She's just sitting there, just putting a little paw on my arm. There we go. So there's my cat coloured in nicely. I'm going to grab a really palest pink. I don't want our pale pink. This is one of the palest ones I've got, but I think that's too pink. So I get a little scrap of card, and it's best to use the same surface, the same type of card that you're going to use. That is, which is that one? Flirty Flamingo. You can see that's more of an orangey pink. This is a petal pink, but it's the dark one of the two. That's more peach, isn't it? So the lighter one, this is light pale papaya. That's too pinky as well. So we might be down to, try different shades here. That's too orangey as well. I'm going to go back to the pink one, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. We have our colour lifter. So if I do a little bit of this on here and then go over it with the colour lifter, it will bleach it out slightly. So it will lighten it or tone it down a bit. So I think that's what I'm going to do. You're not really going to see it much because it's only a tiny little piece in there. So we're not talking about a big, but he does look like he's got a big nose there, doesn't he? Okay, quite a dark nose. So if I bleach that out, it's not actually bleach in here, it's just a colour lifter. But I think of it as being like a bleaching type style to it. So I'm going to do a little balmy blue, the light one. I'm going to do this on his bow tie. So I'm going to colour him in from the sides, and the sides that way. Okay, do I want to do blue? Yes, we're going to use the green card. So I'm going to do little blue dots. While I'm here, I'm going to do blue dots on my cupcake. See, because I love my watercolouring, when the blends came out, we used to have some previously that weren't so good. They've mastered it and we've got fantastic ones now. Because I love watercolouring, I wasn't really into the blends. So it took me a while to think, actually, yes, I do like these and they are great. I love them. So I'm going to do the alternate layers here on the top and a blue bobble. Okay, and then we'll go back to the light granny apple for the layers up here. There we go. Oh, and he better have blue eyes, hadn't he? She's taken a class with me. Yes, Marilyn. She is, Shaz. She sits there just so prim and proper. I want to have my eyes, or the cat's eyes. This end of my, the thick end of my light balmy blue is getting a little bit old, so he's quite pale. So I'm going to do it on the paler side. Okay. And then go back to the granny apple and we're going to do the rest of the cupcake because this is going to match in with our card colour. So if I bring this in, you can kind of see where we're going to end up going with it. You're not going to believe this. The other one's come in now. He's not going to be left out. So just going over this again, the nib on here is getting quite worn, but he's still got a good precision on the edge, so for the lines. Excuse me. He's picking on her. So what do they say? Never work with animals or kids. On their own, they're okay. When they're together, yeah, who knows. So what I'm going to do on here, I want some light and dark on here. So double trouble. Absolutely, Claire. So I want to just give this some texture, some light to one side. So if I come in from, I'm right-handed, so if I come in from this end and just darken the right-hand side of each of those creases. Okay, I'm just coming down that edge and giving it a second coat. So like I said, blend it in and build up those layers. But I want to make it look like the light is coming from one side. Okay, so I'm just going down those pieces that side. Nearly there. Okay, there we go. So it's kind of got lighter on the left-hand side and darker on the right hand. So all that we've got left now is the balloon. Missed a bit on there. Probably you can't see it on the screen because it's just tiny little white in the corner. So do I want a pink balloon? I think I want him to be a little bit different. Let's just go for it, shall we? It is very bright. It's the palest one I've got. It definitely is. So we're going to tone this down. We'll darken one side, the left-hand side here, and we'll blend that middle piece in to take some of the white. So that will actually bring those together and nearly fill that hole. So I've left a little bit of white there. You know when you have something that has got where the light is catching it, it's good to leave a little tiny bit of white in there. Not quite as big as that though, so I'm just going to come in a little bit and just leave some of that white in the middle there showing. Okay, so it's not totally coloured in, and it gives that light and dark side of it. Okie doke. So I think that's my colouring for tonight. You can see how I went through those different shades of colour, and try it on a piece of your scrap where you've cut the frame out from, and it just gives that extra little bit of finish to it. So now for the greeting, before we decide on where everything's going to sit, we're going to put this on foam pads, definitely. So we can do that. And Sandra is tweezerless because I haven't unpacked my bag. I know exactly where they are, but I shall wing it tonight, look, with no tweezers. Okay, so that's just ready to go on there wherever we decide. And now the greeting, I'm kind of liking when things hang over the edge, like so, or maybe flag out from one end. So we can do that. We could do that way, and we could have so more to the right hand side, and then have the sentiment coming over there. It takes some of that white away. Okay, so on there like so. I think we'll do that. And just because I'm thinking out loud, I'm going to go to my basic shapes. Yeah, sorry, stylish shapes. And I'm just going to see this one here. The banner, I'm sure, is going to fit that nicely. So we have the mini cut and emboss machine still here. So I'm going to stamp that one. It's a case of just composition and how you want to build it up. Okay, so that's a nice clear happy birthday. I think I'll bring you out a little bit now because you seem to be right on top of me. There we go. And so that's going to sit there. I'm going to run this one through. We've got the plates still set up. That out of the way. So this one's going to come on here, and we've got the tape ready to put on there. So I'm going to have this, because I want it off this way, I might see how that's going to work. I'm actually going to leave the flag on one end and make this one come off the edge. So what I'm going to do is keep this more to the right hand side, just to the edge there, and then tape that one down, and then this one the other end as well. Okay, you'll see why I'm going to do this in a sec. I'm going to make it butt up against the edge of the card, the layers. Oh, that's a good cut, wasn't it? Sort them later. Okay, so if that one was to go there, that could actually come out from that edge. I could cut this end off straight, so it's literally buttered up there. But now I've done it, you know, I think I'm going to leave the whole thing. Keep this to the side. Okay, and I'm going to grab my... No, I'm not. I was going to grab the Take Your Pick tool, but that's all packed away as well. I'll just do these with my fingers. You all realise how much that hurts me. Not used to working without my tweezers. So I like that to be evenly spaced. So there he is. So this one is going to go flat this end and a stamp dimensional the other. On there like that, and I'll take the backing off as I go. So that's going to sit there, and we want some adhesive on this edge of it, just so when he sits on the other piece. Oh, this is very alien to me. and have him flat on there and raised on there. So you can just see this in the colour, this side. There we go. And we're nearly there. I have gems hiding somewhere. Oh, I might do that. I have pearls. I got some new pearls. So I've got some pearls out. I might actually do some pearls with the colour. Do we want clear sparkles coloured? Or, let's see. I think one or other of those two would be good. Oh, she says. The in colour jewels I have here, those ones actually are going to go quite nicely with that. They aren't the colours because they're multicoloured. These are the previous last year's new in colours. So this is actually soft succulent on here, I believe. No, not yeah, soft succulent. So I think I'm going to go with those because they will go in, tone in nicely. So now we're going to have fun. We have no take your pick and we have no tweezers. So I'm going to use my edge of my scissors and I'm going to make sure I put one on here on the end of that greeting to fill that void, just in there like so. Get it in the centre and press down. And then I'd like to have a couple on the bottom here. Okay, so we'll have just on a couple of the little dots on the cupcake case. Move him over, and then maybe just a couple dotted around. There we go, just dot them on here just to add some effect. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have one at the top there. There we go. And there is my little card. Now we do need to have a liner in there, so we need to just chop that down. Retrieve everything that I moved for the cat. So I'm going to do this the same, 9.5 by 13.8. Just to get that nice even space around the edges. And then if we have one, bring back one of those little strips that we had here. We can actually add a layer to the side of the card. You can either go long ways down or you can go across here, because we've got it that length. I think I will attach that down. I lay it on my grid paper here, my mat, and then line it up over the ends. So there's a little bit of a border there, and I will line it up on the end and then trim off the end piece. Okay, go up, butt up against one edge. So this will be right up to the end, and then this end will be hanging off. Okay, and like so. Press it down firmly and trim off the excess. Okay, and that can go in the bin, that one. So that's just going to go on the inside of our card. Okay, there's lots of green in there, so we don't need anything else on the green border. You're all still with me. I'm not frozen, am I? And there we go. So that's going to come in here like so. I had a message from Marilyn just before I came online to say, you know, the card I did, I think it was on the Wednesday with the pop-up card. She wants to do that when they come and visit me in March. So put that in my diary for you, my dear. So there's a couple of gems there, just some spaced out like so. And there's my finished card. Okie doke. I hope you like that. He's a lovely little cat. I do love it. And I can see that in so many different colours. And everybody needs birthdays. So those papers are fabulous. And I will do it in the other colour. I'll do it in the other colourway as well, with the balmy blue background. But I'll also do it with the other ones another day. Okay. So hope you enjoyed that. Let me take this off and move you across. And come back to me. There we go. So I will be back again on, where are we? This is Sunday. I'll be back again on Wednesday. I don't think there's anything else cropped up. So I will see you Wednesday. If you've got any requests, then let me know. And also don't forget that the celebration is running until the end of February. So if you want to place an order, anything that you've seen when I've been demonstrating, then please just give me a shout and I'll be happy to pop that through for you. Okay, so bye for now, and I will see you all again.